I'm a famous chef. What's up guys, Dan here, Coalcracker, Bushcraft. So I might not be as famous as Bay Salt or Salty or whatever his name is, but we have a good chef and his name's Jody. So we just got to get Jody to do some kind of fancy thing with spices and we will be set, right? But all kidding aside, when it comes to cooking in the outdoors, you don't have to be a chef to cook good meals while you're out here. That is not the case. And actually, cooking is one of the most important camp things that happen. It's just like one of the activities at camp that everybody absolutely loves. And part of cooking requires some equipment. And sometimes getting the equipment to camp becomes a hassle. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Taking cast iron specifically in and out of camp and easy ways for you to do it. So from all my experience and all my cooking with Coalcracker videos, what I can tell you is that I came up with two very easy methods to do this. Well, let's say three. Number one method is just to keep it inside your backpack. Number two is carry it externally on you. And number three is put it on the outside of your backpack. Now I know that seems like, well, yeah, okay, yeah, there's no other way, right? I guess you can drag it or something, but there's all little nuances to doing these three methods. So let's break into each one. So carrying it externally or in your pack, I really throw that all in one clump because there is a reason for that. You don't want all of your stuff to get dirty on the inside because when you cook with this stuff over a campfire, the outside is going to be baked with all kind of dirty soot from the smoke and the fire, and then the inside, of course, after you're done cooking, needs to be cleaned. Now you can by all means go to the local stream, clean this up and get it that it can definitely go inside, but I will tell you, if you're like me, it is a huge hassle. So some things that I found is that you can just get yourself some type of bag. Now you don't have to get a haversack, but this is my cooking haversack. So when I'm taking cast iron with me, I generally just stick them inside. So this haversack itself, it fits. This skillet, I just measured it this morning for everybody, is like a 10.5-inch skillet. So that fits inside there. And if I want to take a 9-inch skillet, I can set that inside. I can also set more, and then I just slide this down on the inside here, just like this, tuck the handles off to the side, and now I have a very easy way to carry my cast iron in, and then I can carry dirty cast iron out. So if I want to just take full advantage of being in the woods and not deal with cleanup, I can just put my dirty stuff back in here and then put it in the magical sink at home, and then it just becomes clean the next day. So I'm joking. Somebody's gonna stab me out there. Somebody's gonna stab me in the neck. Probably my wife. Okay, so this is a great option, okay? And then you can also sew yourself a bag or buy yourself a bag, and if you don't want to carry it and you have extra room inside your pack, your dirty stuff just stays in there. So some type of pouch for your cast iron can be very beneficial. That also goes for small cook kits. Having some type of little bag to stick these things in, it works great just because your stuff's not getting a hot mess then inside, especially if it's your sleep gear and you're rubbing like that soot and dirt all over it. Not too good. So say you don't want to go that route and you just want to take your backpack and your cast iron and head out to the great outdoors. That's a little bit more what this video is going to be about, and all that it requires is a little bit of paracord and a little bit of knowledge up here. So here is my backpack. As you can see, it's pretty full. It has my sleeping equipment and stuff in there. So we're gonna look at lashing now this to the outside. Now, a couple quick things just to keep in mind here, which we're gonna talk about, is if your backpack doesn't have these side tie outs, what are you gonna do? That's why traditionally a lot of these canvas packs and these camping bushcraft style backpacks have external tie outs for this type of application. The other thing with this pack, it has a flip over lid, which again, you're gonna see a lot with this style pack, but if that is the case, that's not a problem. We just get rid of the lid for the time being. Okay, don't cut it off, just flip it back, and then we're going to still work in this area because the lid will just provide more coverage when we're all done, okay? All right, so this here, I measured this morning, is an 8-foot piece of paracord. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in half. We're not going to cut it in half. We're just going to split it in half. We're going to take the loop section and we are going to run that through the hole in the cast iron handle like this. Okay, so that is going to give me a point that this cast iron can hang from, all right? This is the most important part of this, because if this is nice and secure to your pack, this isn't gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna fall off. The only problem then moving forward is that we don't have any strength, so it's gonna move back and forth. So we're gonna show you how to do that next. And again, this is a real simple process. We're just going to run our side tie outs through our side D-rings. Whoop. So we're just gonna run these things through, very simple, like this. And now if I hold this somewhat tight, okay, and I pull this up, I wanna just take this until I get the slack out of it, so my pan isn't going too crazy downward or too crazy upward, all right? Now, from here, we're just gonna make a crisscross fashion. So I'm gonna come across here, and I have 3 D-rings down the side, so I'm just going to use the 3. If you have more, by all means, and if you have too many, well, you don't have to use every single one. So you gotta experiment with this just a little bit. So just a good old crisscross fashion here. Now, this is the last one I'm gonna crisscross with. Here's the thing, if I do this here, I have no support through the bottom. So what I like to do is come across the bottom. Cast iron generally has a small lip on it right here, so that's gonna help hold that in place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lace this through my last D-ring, and then I'm going to start to tighten all of this down. So it shouldn't be that hard to tighten down. And as you can see, it's starting to grab the bottom here. All right, looks like a landmine on there. So we're gonna just tighten this thing down, any kind of knot you want, just to get that thing secured. And now, look at that. It is not going anywhere, okay? So we're good to go. Just make sure your bottom knot's gonna stay in place. Now, with this style pack, when I flip this over and tie this out, I'm even adding more tension across this to make it happen. All right, well, that's today's video. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you did, hit like and subscribe down below. You can also check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com for all our classes, our gear, which I showed lots of our backpacks and our bags and all that good stuff. We make all that in-house. And then also our blog. Instructors put a lot of good blog information out there on there, so definitely check that one out. And then that's it. All right, until next video, grab your cast iron, lace it up, and stay in the woods. Ah.